In this lecture, we'll go over the basics of team workspaces. We will create a team workspace, add a collection, and invite others to collaborate on it. I have already prepared two accounts that I will use for this demonstration. With the first account, where I am logged in as John, I will create a team workspace and later share it with Jane. So let me show you how this works in Postman. Now, all I have to do in order to access the team workspaces is right here from above. I will go to the team part, and you will see that I do not have any team workspaces yet. So in order to get started, I will create a team workspace. So let's imagine that I will call this workspace project 1, and I will simply create a workspace without doing anything else. In the next screen, I can even add additional information about the team. So for example, I'm gonna say here, this is team X that's working, and Postman will use an internal URL for accessing this workspace. You don't really have to worry a lot about it. You can even change it later. So for the moment, I will call it team-x-workspace. I'm gonna hit the save button, and now we have a team workspace here. Now, as you can see, there are absolutely no collections inside here, and I can create a new collection. I can import an existing one. It works pretty much the same as it does when you are using the other personal workspaces. Now, what Postman did is to create actually two workspaces. So this team workspace is like a default workspace, and project 1 is the actual workspace that we wanted to create. So we can easily switch in between these workspaces, and in case you do not need them, you can simply delete. So it's nothing to worry about. So I will simply switch to project 1 as a workspace, and you see here that it is empty. It doesn't contain any collection, it doesn't contain anything. And what we can do here is to create a collection or to import an existing one. We might already have a collection that we want to use, and this can be in the personal workspace. So if I switch back to my personal workspace, in my workspace, you see I have here my collection. And if I want to use this, all I have to do is switch back to the project 1 workspace or to any other workspace that you want to use. And right here below, you will find this browse functionality and this build switch. It's a bit hidden, but if you click the browse functionality, you will see here a different view. And it says here you do not have any collections, but you can add collections to this workspace. So this is exactly what you are going to do. We're going to add a collection to this workspace. You will see here that what is the source workspace? Well, this is my workspace, my private workspace that I have, so I can switch in between workspaces. And the collection that we want to import is this my collection. So I'm going to add this to the workspace. And if I switch back to the previous view with the build switch, now I will see that I have here a collection in my project 1 workspace. Now, in my personal workspace, this collection will still exist. So basically I have a copy, but they are independent collections right now, and they don't have anything in common with one another. Now, the collection itself is not shared with anybody. So my project has no members. So everything that I do inside here will only be shared with me. But as I said, we have, in this case, two users. We have John, and he has created this collection, and we have Jane. And Jane doesn't have any collections yet. So it doesn't even have a team workspace. So what John needs to do is to share this workspace with Jane so that Jane can see everything that John does. So in order to do that, I will hit this invite button here. and you will see that I have the possibility of adding new members. So all I need to do is for the other team members to already have a Postman account, and I will give here the email address and I will add them, and they will get an invitation. I'm going to click here right below invite users, and in a few moments they will get an invitation by email. So they're invited to join the team, and if they accept this invitation, they will be able to collaborate. And now Jane should be able to see the new workspace and the new team, but in this case it's not showing up yet. So I will first do a sign out and I will sign in again. Now I'm back here, and if I go again to the team workspace, I will see that I belong to this team and I have access to project 1. And in project 1, I can see the collection. Now inside the collection, I will see all the requests. And if I try to make a change to add something, I will see that when I try to save it, it won't allow me to save it in this collection. And you can easily notice that this collection is locked here. So I have the possibility of viewing this collection, but I do not have any permission to change anything to it. So what John needs to do right now is to allow Jane to edit. And in order to modify these permissions, the quickest way is again to go to this switch here right on the button, and I'm going to click on browse, and I will see all the collections that I have. And using this context menu, I have the possibility of modifying permissions. So if I click modify permissions, you will see here that team default permission is set to can view. And this is exactly what Jane is able to do right now. But the idea is to allow Jane to make changes as well if this is desired. So now I switch it to can edit. I'm gonna save this. And now the collection permissions have been updated. So switching back to Jane, you will be able to see here that the lock on the collection has been removed. And if Jane is now trying to make a change to this collection and save it, it will be saved, and right instantly here on top it will show that the synchronization was successful. So I'll do it again and watch for the that has been saved. So going back to John, in the build view, the first request, you will see it already has a change address to foo2. So to put it very simple, everything that John and Jane do will be saved and automatically synchronized between the two of them.